Tripatite committee on new minimum wage meets in Abuja. 30 feared dead, others injured as bandits attacked two Katsina local government areas. Tribunal fines multi-choice 150 million naira, 1 month free DSTV Go TV subscription for users. And on the foreign scene, Saudi Arabia hosts 1.2 million pilgrims in 2024 Hajj. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Hello, thank you for joining us. Now, the Tripatite committee meeting for a new national minimum wage is underway. The meeting, which is the fifth since the suspension of the industrial action by organized labor, is holding behind closed doors at the Nikon Luxury Hotel in Abuja. Some prominent members of the committee are in attendance, including the Director General of the Nigerian Governors Forum, the Minister of Labor and Employment State, Nkiruka Onyejiocha, the Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, a representative of the Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, as well as the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Atiku Bagudu. When the meeting was held on Thursday, members of the committee gave assurances that a figure may be announced on Friday. 30 people are feared dead following a fresh multiple attack by armed bandits on several villages in Dosama and Safana local government areas of Katsina State. Dosama and Safana are two of the frontline local government areas where activities of bandits have been on the increase, despite huge security agencies and government interventions to decimate insurgency in the areas. The eyewitnesses revealed that the multiple attacks frightened most of the residents, who have now migrated to safer communities in areas like Dosama. The national leadership of the National Association of Nigerian Students have promised to resist any act of oppression or suppression of students on campus across the country. National President of the student body, Lucky Omenefe, made this declaration when he led union members on a peaceful protest to the Ajayi Crowther University campus, Oyo, where he called for a thorough investigation into the gruesome killing of Alex Akro, a 200-level mechanical engineering student who was allegedly tortured to death by his colleagues.
Tempers have reached boiling point over the recent murder of Alex Akro, a 200-level mechanical engineering student of the Ajayi Crowther University. Kingsmen of the deceased Delta Prince, in company of student union leaders, are here at the campus site to ascertain the circumstances surrounding his death. The union leaders barricaded the school entrance while insisting on meeting the school's management. They want the school authorities to unravel the mastermind of the killing.
The killing of Nigerian students in their campuses is too much. We want to put an end to it. So we are here to get a first-hand information from the management of this institution. Going forward, any act of suppression, compression, repression that Alex has passed through, we condemn it in its entirety. The way he was treated, we condemn it in its entirety. No parents will allow their children to pass through such treatment. Henceforth, the leadership of NANS demanded for justice.
Management yielded to the demands of the student union as they were taking round the crime scene.
It was then that we took the body to Ibadan. We knew that autopsy must be done. If it were just he fell down or going somewhere and he died, it would have been another thing entirely. But the Deputy Commissioner of Police in Ibadan told us that while doing that, the parents and everybody must be, they must be part of, just like you have actually asked for. This money, payment is being made. That is to show you that we do not have anything to hide.
Student union leadership and kingsmen of the deceased student converged on the ancient city of Ibadan to call on security agencies and all stakeholders to get to the root of the matter.
As we speak to you,
13 students has been arrested over this case, and they have been charged to court this morning. They are already remanded where? At Agodi. And we have demanded from the management that we want them to release the names of all the 13 students arrested over this case and their faculty, so that we can verify that they are what? They are genuine students. Also, the security men on duty, the porter, everybody that were on duty that are supposed to do their job, that did not do their job, were also arrested and also charged along with the arrested students.
If these demands are not reached, we take other options. It is step by step. First of all, we want to thank Nigerian police for swinging into action. But most importantly, you cannot take them to court without meeting the family. At least the family has the right to know those who murder their son by parading them first. And the school needs to release the full detail of those that are involved. This is the first step to be taken before taking them to the court.
The school was meant to, they didn't even inform the family until hours after this thing had happened. Unfortunately, getting to the school, realizing that they had cleaned up the crime scene and a whole lot of things are not as it should be. So this is sad, this is painful, but the boy is gone, he's not coming back. The most we can do is to get justice for him, and we will do that.
I feel the government should go in deeply on this issue, because bullying nowadays, like as if mothers are raising monsters. Know your child, know the level of anger they have, and just be closer to your child, because how can you beat up a boy, a child like you? Like, how old are they? They're just 22, 21 years old. How can you comfortably beat a child to death and you feel no remorse about it?
22-year-old Alex Akro is a prince in the Uvwe and Wari Kingdom of Delta State.
Indeed, a very sad one there. A federal high court number 3 sitting in Kano is set to deliver judgment on its jurisdiction to entertain the case of breach of fundamental human rights filed by the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero. The presiding judge told both parties that he will communicate the date to also rule over on whether Aminu Ado can continue being the Emir of Kano or otherwise. Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero had filed the case before the court, asking it to order the removal of Muhammadu Sanusi II from the Kano Emir's palace.
Today we are in court in respect of the action by Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, the former Emir of Kano. He is a fundamental human rights proceeding, and we are today to adopt and make progress in the case. And I'm happy we did. The court was very patient with us. We were able to go through our processes, and judgment has been reserved.
We came before this court because we know the court has jurisdiction, and we are talking about the fundamental right of our applicant, because he was not accorded the fundamental right to peer hearing. He just saw the letter deposing him as an emir on social media, and that is why he rushed to court to challenge that, because he ought to be given peer hearing. That is one of the cardinal principles of fundamental human rights, which he was not accorded right. That is why he came to court.
Nigeria's Competition and Consumer Protection Tribunal, sitting in the country's capital, Abuja, has fined MultiChoice Nigeria the total sum of 150 million naira for challenging the court's jurisdiction, and ordered the company to provide a 1-month free DSTV and GoTV subscription to users in the country. The judgment was delivered today by a bench of 3 judges led by Thomas Okoso. Recall that the tribunal had previously issued an interim stay order that had restrained MultiChoice from increasing its subscription rates, pending the hearing and determination of a motion notice filed by Barrister Festus Onifade. Onifade sued MultiChoice Nigeria Limited and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission for unjustly increasing subscription fees without 1-month notice to customers. The Federal Operation Unit Zone B, Kaduna of the Nigerian Customs, has arrested a suspected smuggler with a consignment of pangolin scales worth 3.96 billion naira within the Kebbi State axis of the zone. Zone B Comptroller Amadu Bello Shuaibu, who disclosed this when he paraded the suspects as well as the bags containing the pangolin scales, said the main culprit is on the run. Here's the report.
for the avoidance of.
He said the team discovered and evacuated sacks of pangolin scales, which were transported to the headquarters of FOU Zone B in Kaduna. He pointed out that one suspect was arrested in connection with the seizure, while the main suspect is currently at large, saying the unit is collaborating with other sister agencies to arrest the main suspect and bring him to book.
Our activities are knowledge-driven, intelligence-based. We, on our part, have already sworn that we are going to work to ensure that smuggling of goods and services, as well as killing of endangered species in this area of our area of coverage will not be allowed.
He explained that the pangolin species is one of the endangered species protected by the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. The controller said Nigeria is a signatory to the CITES Convention, and all forms of trading in this species are clearly illegal.
National security is paramount. If Nigeria as a country is allowed to be used as a dumping ground or as a hub for illegal activities, we will lose our name within the international community.
He further warned that those involved in the illegal trafficking of endangered species are hiding under it to launder money used in procuring drugs, arms, and other illegal merchandise. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
The Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway was flooded in the Joju area of Ogun State on Thursday, causing disruption for commuters. The flood occurred in the afternoon after a downpour. According to reports, vehicles and pedestrians were submerged. The rain started around noon on Thursday. Meanwhile, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has predicted that 8 local government areas of Zamfara State would be affected by moderate flooding in the 2024 rainy season. The agency's Director General, Zubaida Umar, disclosed this in Gusau at the sensitization program for the 2024 downscaling of flood early warning strategies for early actions. Umar listed the 8 local government areas to include Bugundu, Gumi, Gusau, Bakura, Maradun, Talata Mafara, Shinkafi, and Zulmi. She also called on Nigerians to work together to safeguard communities at risk, protect critical infrastructures, and support what she termed uninterrupted socio-economic activities in the country from flooding. This is the news update on Trust TV. Up ahead, farmers in Katsina seek solution against Tuta absoluta, the tomato farming enemy. More when we return. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We're just joining us as the news update on Trust TV. Now, a recap of our top stories. Tripatite Committee on New Minimum Wage meets in Abuja. And we also told you that 30 feared dead, others injured as bandits attacked 2 Katsina local government areas. To more news. Over in the southeast, residents of Imo State have expressed mixed feelings over the ongoing vaccination for children against cervical cancer. The vaccine, which is being carried out by the government, has continued to attract attention as most parents refuse to give consent. Trust TV's Ajibade Praise tells us more.
The government rolled out the vaccination exercise in the state.
For an immunization against cervical cancer, and it is between children that are 9 years of age to 14 years of age. It goes to help you to prevent against cervical cancer. So wherever you are, tell your friends that it is free, it is normal, that you should take it. It is for your own benefit.
While some parents are reluctant giving their consents for their wards to be vaccinated, others are saying they won't, following the claim that the vaccine is not safe.
That vaccine that I'm hearing about, it's like that thing is no good for children. It's no good for children. If it is me, I have a child too, I will not allow her to take it because it's not good for their health. In future, they may have problem.
No, I will not allow them to take it because it will affect them in the future. I want the federal government to look into it and stop it.
And I have a daughter between that range. I will allow her to take the vaccination because when you are not informed, you are deformed. So I think I'm aware that there is need for my daughter to take this vaccination, given that the word cancer is a very dangerous disease that needs to be prevented.
The Commissioner for Health in the state, Prosper Success Ohayaga, said the vaccine is safe and good at fighting cervical cancer.
These vaccines contain just the proteins from the outer shell of some of the strains of the human papilloma virus. And these proteins are harmless on their own, totally harmless, but they are able to trigger off an immune response. So when the body sees this virus, they say, oh, we already know you. You are not good to be in this body. And the body fights it. It is very safe. I must tell the populace, my people, Ndi Imo, Ndi Nigeria, that even today, my daughter, who is within this age group, her school called and I gave a consent for this. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. If I will tell my daughter to do it because of tomorrow, I will ask every mother, every father to give consent to our girl child.
He urged parents to make good use of the opportunity to vaccinate their female children between the age of 9 and 14 years of age against cervical cancer. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
Over in Katsina State, tomato farmers are facing a relentless enemy, a tiny insect called Tuta absoluta. Despite being a major cultivator of tomato, the pest is laying waste to tomato crops, leaving a trail of financial ruin. Jamil Mabai reports on the crisis in Katsina State, where the situation is particularly dire.
Lawal Baku, a tomato farmer, lost his entire 3 hectares of farmland to leaf miner infestation. Tuta absoluta, a tiny bug with a ravenous appetite, is destroying tomato farms across Katsina State and beyond. The pest resistance to all known pesticides makes it even a formidable foe for farmers. It is destructive and it's so tiny you can't see the pest. Lowell says the pest is unlike anything he has ever seen before. 14 years ago, I took credit from banks, planted 3 hectares of tomato. I lost everything due to the pest. Katsina is a major tomato producer in Nigeria, but the scorching heat, a possible consequence of climate change, has created the perfect breathing ground for Tuta absoluta. During heat, in Ajio, in places like Ajio and Kankara, farmers escaped with just 1/5 of what they planted and lost everything. Irrigation farmers can't plant tomato due to high cost of fuel for irrigation pumps, which makes irrigation farming difficult and expensive. Tomato price is high. Farmers don't have money to farm. Those who can afford to farm buy petrol at high price. Burdened by debt, Lowell has been forced to switch from tomato farming to retailing tomatoes. The crisis isn't confined to Katsina. Hundreds of kilometers away in Kankara, Kabir paints a grim picture. The leaf miner has no cure. If you spend 10 million naira, the pest will destroy it in less than a day. The battle against tuta absoluta is far from over. Farmers desperately need solutions to save their crops and their way of life. Jamil Mabai, Trust TV, Katsina.
And in business, the African Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank, has announced an additional disbursement of $925 million under the syndicated $3.3 billion crude oil-backed prepayment facility sponsored by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC Limited, to the federal government. A statement by the bank on Thursday said the development brings the total current funded facility size to $3.175 billion, arranged and coordinated by Afrexim Bank. The arrangement saw the raising of a combined total of $925 million from a consortium of crude oil off-taker lenders, including but not limited to the Oando Group and Sahara Energy Resource Limited. The announcement followed the first tranche of $3.3 billion facility. And away from Nigeria, the Saudi Minister of Hajj and Umrah, Tawfiq Al-Rabia, has announced the arrival of approximately 1.2 million pilgrims from around the globe. At a government press conference in Riyadh, he affirmed that the pilgrims' journeys had gone smoothly and that they are in excellent health. Al-Rabia highlighted Saudi Arabia's enduring commitment to serving the guests of God. He noted the significant efforts by the country's leadership to facilitate the arrival of pilgrims to the two holy mosques and other holy sites. Arabia emphasized the necessity of adhering to regulations and instructions to ensure comprehensive services for all pilgrims. Still on the international scene, African National Congress is leaning towards unity government as uneasiness against grassroots supporters. ANC officials say it is the first option on the table after the party lost its parliamentary majority. President Cyril Ramaphosa and senior party officials were in a critical meeting on Thursday in Johannesburg to decide how to go about forming a government. Any unity government plan will still have to be taken to those other parties, some of whom are more opposed to each other than ANC. Democratic Alliance DA has pledged never to work with the EFF or MK.
Constructive discussions with a number of parties: the Economic Freedom Fighters, the Inkatha Freedom Party, the Democratic Alliance, the National Freedom Party, the Patriotic Alliance. We have also engaged our alliance partners to brief them on the process and will continue to seek their invaluable views and guidance. ANC notes that we do have ideological and political differences with several parties in our political landscape. However, we will not preclude the possibility of working with any party so long as it is in the public interest and it is in keeping with the principles that I have articulated.
And in sports, Tosin Adarabioyo has passed Chelsea Medical and becomes the first signing of the Enzo Maresca era at Stamford Bridge. The defender confirmed the transfer in his message to Fulham fans. Tosin Adarabioyo says he will always fondly remember his time at Fulham ahead of his free transfer to Chelsea. The centre-back rejected multiple new contracts offered in order to leave Fulham this summer as a free agent. 26-year-old Adarabioyo, who joined Fulham from Manchester City in 2020, posted a statement on his social media on Thursday thanking Fulham fans and the club. Still in sports, the House Committee on Sports on Thursday proposed that the budget for the preparations of Nigerian athletes for Olympic Games should be captured in the budget of the Sports Ministry annually. The Chairman House Committee on Sports said as one of their contributions to help Nigeria record best performance in the Olympics, clamor for better welfare and preparations of athletes for making funds available in the budget each year for a podium finish. The Chairman House Committee on Sports, Honorable Kenneth Adams, along with the members of the committee, however, proposed that a bill will be sponsored where funds will be captured in annual budget of Sports Ministry distributed to different sports federations for better preparations of Nigerian athletes. And that's it for news updates at this hour on Trust TV. For more of our news, documentaries and programs, please still follow us on all our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. I'm part of the news production team. Thank you so much for joining us.